the Apache-Sitgreaves National Forest, Arizona. November 5th, 1975. 22-year-old forestry worker Travis Walton is driving home after sundown with a group of co-workers when suddenly a strange light appears in the sky.
I noticed some little glimmers of light coming through the trees, and the light seemed to be coming from higher than where ground level would be. It was only when we got to where this light was crossing the road that we had an unobstructed view of the craft. It was a clearly visible, clearly defined metallic object, a disc hovering there, outlined against the sky. I threw open the door, thinking I'd get a closer look before it took off. As I got closer to it, the sound it was making, it was a sound you both heard and felt. And the crew said they could feel the vibration in the truck. They said it seemed like something was about to happen. And it was. That's when this energy hit me. The crew said that it was like I'd stepped on a landmine, like an explosion so violent that they thought it had killed me. When this beam of energy hit me, I felt like a physical blow, but with a sort of a tingling, sort of an electric shock sort of feeling at the same time. I don't know whether I came to soon after I was taken aboard, but I knew I was on some kind of an elevated gurney or operating table. I was looking straight into the face of this creature, and I just flipped out.
He sees these grey extraterrestrials around him, and he panics, and he begins to struggle very violently. And so those grey extraterrestrials leave that room, and then shortly afterwards, you have two human-looking extraterrestrials walking in.
In the case of these human-looking ones, I started to have serious misgivings that this was a rescue. And that's when they put this mask over my face, and I just blacked out real quickly.
Now, the suspicion here was that actually these weren't different aliens. These were the same aliens, but they were capable of shape-shifting into something else, specifically to calm him down.
But if true, was he abducted by beings that are able to shapeshift and mimic humans? While Travis Walton's account is extraordinary, it is not entirely unique.
There are many stories of these abductees who see these non-human looking extraterrestrials, these greys, who then are replaced by beings that look human. And this seems to be extraterrestrials using this shape-shifting ability to make it look as though human extraterrestrials are there.
In 2013, public policy polling released data that showed 12 million Americans believe that shape-shifting beings live amongst us.
One of the most intriguing conspiracies today is that of the shape-shifting aliens. The idea that perhaps there is a class of entities on our world today that is able to represent itself as humans at will. These extraterrestrials that are hidden from the rest of the normal human society around them.
There is a theory that there are aliens among us, aliens in human form. That there's an advanced guard, a fifth column, call it what you like, but the idea that perhaps as a prelude to a full-scale alien invasion, they infiltrate, they get their people into positions of power, and one could be walking right past you and you wouldn't know. People think of disclosure as being the archetypal landing on the White House lawn, spaceships in the sky. What if it's actually not that? What if aliens are already here?
At Skinwalker Ranch, a number of strange happenings have been reported. Everything from sightings of prehistoric beasts and poltergeist activity to shape-shifting monsters and mysterious orbs of light in the sky. But one detail seems to be consistent: the manner in which these frightening phenomena suddenly come about as if out of thin air. Could it be that some sort of portal through space and time really does exist in this area, as many ancient astronaut theorists believe? And while most of Robert Bigelow's activities on the property have remained top secret, investigative journalist George Knapp was able to learn of at least one extraordinary encounter.
There was one night, one of the most dramatic things that happened. There are two of the scientists, these are PhD level people. They walk around the middle homestead, and two guys are up on Skinwalker Ridge looking down. They've got infrared equipment watching. And one of them with the infrareds sees what looks like a dirty snowball of light just hovering a couple of feet off the ground. And he walkie-talkies these guys down there. Hey, do you see it? Yeah, we see it. It's kind of vague. Then he says, hey, something's happening. It's changing.
Our guys are on a ridge line looking down, and you see a light appear above the ground, expand.
This ball of light was stretching out. It became a tunnel of light. Into this tunnel comes a humanoid figure.
Some kind of monster reach up, pull his shoulders, and come out.
7 or 8 feet tall, black, featureless. When it gets out, the tunnel collapses into a ball again. It was almost as if it was a dimensional tunnel, but it was coming from some other reality.
According to both the Navajo and Ute tribes, such portals do exist.
You have to go back to the story of the emergence of the Navajo. The story there is that they went through several underground worlds, and in coming to this world, through a hole in the ground, or through a portal, if you may.
There are holes, portals, if you want to call them that, within the universe that allow you to go into different dimensions, and those have existed for eons, so those who know about them can travel back and forth.
Ancient astronaut theorists point out that emerging scientific theories support the native beliefs that other dimensions not only exist, but that travel between them is possible.
Quantum physics essentially allows for the existence of multiple dimensions that coexist with ours. What we're seeing at places like the Skinwalker Ranch are strange creatures, unusual entities coming through the portals and the doorways. It's entirely possible that creatures and beings from other realms of existence could quite literally jump from their dimension into our world.
More and more scientists are talking in these extraordinary esoteric terms about very powerful places where realities blend or blur together. From the descriptions of Skinwalker Ranch, this could well be one of those bleed-over places.
While the theory of a portal at Skinwalker Ranch may seem incredible, futurist Caroline Corey takes it even one step further.
We know that the physical universe is based on geometry. We are now predicting that there is a matrix, a grid patterning system around the planet that is a web-like structure with specific entry and exit points that allow certain phenomena to happen that seem supernatural or paranormal. If there are tears exactly at these locations, you're going to have all kinds of anomalies that would happen because of these tears. You're going to perhaps see an anomaly in the sky, or you could also see prehistoric animal cross over because there's a tear in this fabric of space itself.
Varanasi, India, 500 miles southeast of Delhi. Located on the banks of the Ganges, Varanasi is one of the oldest cities on Earth, a city that, according to legend, was founded by the gods. Long known as a center of knowledge and learning, Varanasi was once home to an ancient physician by the name of Sushruta, who many historians credit with developing the art of surgery.
In ancient India, the early physician was a guy named Sushruta, and he was a surgeon and physician.
who would do skin grafts, cataract removals, even early plastic surgery on people. So once again, we have someone whose medical knowledge seems so advanced for his time.
Sushruta is also considered to be the first practitioner of Ayurveda, one of the oldest known systems of medicine in the world. According to Hindu legend, Sushruta is said to have received this knowledge from a god known as Dhanvantari.
Dhanvantari was a high-level god, as we would know them, who provided all the information on this complete healing modality based on an understanding of the physical and subtle aspects of the body. And it was passed through to Indian culture in ancient times and has been preserved and expanded since then.
Though he is most often depicted as having 4 arms and holding medicinal herbs, the god Dhanvantari was also a shapeshifter. According to legend, during his journeys to Earth, he could take on other forms, including that of a bird. Is it possible that both Dhanvantari and the half-man, half-bird Egyptian god of healing, Thoth, were connected in some way? And if so, how?
Whether it's Dhanvantari or Thoth, we learn of these extraterrestrial divinities very often being portrayed as bird-like beings who delivered the knowledge of ancient medicine to Earth. This tells us that our original knowledge of medicine, human anatomy, and how to heal the body came from extraterrestrial sources.
Sushruta was very clear in stating that he learned this knowledge from the gods. Who were the gods? Extraterrestrials.
Every culture will tell you that the first surgeon, that medicine, that healing was a gift of the gods. And that is extraordinarily interesting because it really shows that the benefit of mankind was accomplished through the intervention and the knowledge of the deities.
Skinwalker Ranch, Uintah Basin, Utah. This 500-acre expanse has been plagued by reports of strange phenomena for decades. Phenomena that include both UFO sightings and accounts of a shape-shifting monster.
Any paranormal activity that you can imagine has happened, allegedly, at this Skinwalker Ranch. You've seen UFOs, they have seen different creatures, they have seen weird things happening up in the sky. There's a history that not only goes back over the past 100 years, but over the past 1,000 years of activity happening in that area, some of which is connected to Navajo legends. Tales of shapeshifters called skinwalkers have existed since time immemorial.
In the oral traditions of both the local Navajo and Ute populations, the shapeshifter for which Skinwalker Ranch is named has inhabited the area for centuries. But the story behind this creature is different from that of other shapeshifters. According to the Navajo, the Skinwalker is a human who has attained the ability to transform his body.
A skinwalker is the name that is given to a Navajo shaman or witch when they are in a supernatural form. Very often a skinwalker will be a wolf, but it can be other animals as well.
The native tradition concerning skinwalkers is that these are actual people that have gained a certain type of power. They were given certain abilities, shape-changing and magic.
When it comes to how the Skinwalker is able to change shape, the Navajo have a similar notion to that of ancient astronaut theorists. They believe it is connected to DNA.
Our view on it is that they're manipulating the DNA of their own body. They do change shape. And it's usually an animal that they have the skin for. And they'll use this skin, and with a combination of chance, can actually turn into that animal. And interestingly enough, in Navajo tradition, you are taught early on as a child, you don't leave your fingernail clippings, you don't spit on the ground and not cover it up. All of this has to do with the transmission of DNA.
If extraterrestrials are harvesting DNA in order to shapeshift, as some ancient astronaut theorists suggest, is it possible that they could also bestow humans with this same ability? And might the Skinwalker be evidence of alien intervention? While it may sound far-fetched, former Navajo police officer Jonathan Dover is certain that the being called the Skinwalker is real.
I spent 31 years in law enforcement. We've had many, many incidences where people have seen them chasing their vehicles as their vehicles are traveling at 60, 65 miles an hour and having a human figure running behind you. Whether we have an alien presence, we don't know for sure. But there's enough information there that I would say don't take it lightly just because it's a different culture.